guys, welcome to another commentary done by Diggity. We got an old school match here at the 3 o'clock location. We have Bisu starting as the red Protoss. 6 o'clock location-ish, we've got Forgg once again as the blue Terran. This is going to be on Dominator, pretty large macro-oriented map. Kind of a fun one, I think. Interesting, I didn't realize they put the hallucinated mineral fields up here under the fog of war. That's cute. And some critters all over it as well at the third spawn. This is, wow. I wonder what this is just maybe the map makers going like, we like timers. And having other little creative hidden things that people rarely will end up seeing on the map, out on the map. They should actually have like this hidden map win condition that nobody knows about, where it's like if you run out and you kill one of those, or you run out and you harvest some minerals from that patch, like you'd have to send out like an initial, your very first probe or worker you'd have to send out. So you have to get lucky in the first place, but if you harvest them or kill one of the critters, you instantly get a win. That'd be like the golden snitch of StarCraft. Anyway, pylon down for Bisu, interior to his base, dropping the gateway interior to his base as well. Dominator, by the way, inverted ramp towards the natural expansion, where and just a lot of droppable area for both races. Oftentimes they'll say, yeah, it's droppable for Protoss, where they go, you know, early robotics is kind of standard meta these days, and instead you'll see Terran actually opting to go for dropships and things like that. Barracks, by the way, up the ramp for Forgg. But point being, one favor, I do feel like Terran, if they go for early game pushes, even though it's large travel distances, they're a little bit stronger because of that inverted ramp. Walking up into range attack fire can be a little bit more challenging overall. In the meantime, we have cybernetics core and a simulator. No initial zealot as of yet here from Bisu. I'm expecting actually him to skip that initial zealot and just go straight into Dragoon as far as what this is looking like thus far. And I wouldn't be shocked to see barracks into command center for Forgg as well, although this is kind of set up for it. You can see where he's got that where you can just plop down the marine. Gonna drop a supply depot alongside here rather than go for the command center. But you can see he's kind of establishing already a nice little wall to work with. So cybernetics core are going to go ahead and warp in, waiting for whether he's going to go ahead and commit with that third pylon interior to the base or not, or whether he's just going to go gateway into Nexus. There's the command center. Actually skip it. So getting an initial marine, skipping additional marines, and going ahead and plopping down that command center. No gas as of yet, but going ahead and tacking down that gas now. First Dragoon on the way for Bisu, and it looks like it is just going to be 1 gate, 2 pylon into Nexus on his end. So kind of a more standard economic play. Additional marines being constructed. Now, does Forgg go for the bunker out on the front? So he's got 0 scouting information. So yeah, absolutely doing so out of safety right now. He's just got very little information to work with. And I mean, there could have been 2 gate somewhere. There could have been a lot of stuff. So just going for that bunker just to be safe. Range upgrading there for Bisu. Probe making its way across. So the Dragoon going out to scout and the probe going out to scout as well. Probe's going to find that bunker on the front. Marine's going to go ahead and load right in. The SCV finally making its way out for Forgg. Making its way to the north, actually, so Dragoon might be able to intercept it. So this is kind of clever. I think Bisu saw the trajectory of that SCV, so he's positioning his Dragoon as though he's blockading the entrance to his base. Forgg is going to go ahead and walk right by it. It is going to take some initial damage, and so is pressing in to confirm, but basically this is just a dead SCV, and the only thing that's going to get revealed out of all of this is the fact that he's not in the upper left-hand corner. Should still have an idea just based on the fact that it was kind of a probe scout rather than a probe and a Dragoon rather than anything else, that it's still probably gateway into expand. Otherwise you'd expect Dragoons at your front door right this second, slamming away at it. But in the meantime, by the way, range about 2/3 finished, second Dragoon about up in the field. We are seeing a double factory follow-up for Forgg. So, and machine shop already dropped. So let's see if it's double machine shop or if he's going to go for a little bit safer siege tank play in the midst of this. Pylon wall starting to get constructed there from Bisu. And he's going to do what, yeah, it's been very typical for Protoss lately. Get that early robotics facility, get that early shuttle, get something to kind of press against Terran and slow things down a little bit. in the early game. This is also kind of a little bit, I believe a Dragoon, if they know about this, can pocket over this high ground with range and actually hit these factories, interestingly enough. So I'm kind of curious about this positioning here from Forgg. But that does provide external scouting for things that are coming over the edge. It is going to be double machine shop. Siege tech research first. So initial siege tank for safety to deal with the Dragoons. And then probably vultures once that natural expansion is pushed out a little bit. Engineering bay being constructed in the midst of this. Keep in mind, Forgg, all he's got is the fact that there's just 3 Dragoons on the front, soon to be 4. Let's see if Bisu goes for a quick third, or whether he's just, so he's getting that Reaver and shuttle speed, which is pretty typical. Looks like he's going to wait a little while. I wanted to see if he was going to skip additional troops. Actually, some zealots, so might get aggressive against this initial siege tank. Maybe because this is so droppable. Siege tech finish. We got vulture speed also upgrading. Still just at the double factories. Missile turret defensively to deal with Dark Templar and also to try to protect that siege tank from any sort of bombs. 1 along the refinery, but that still leaves a lot of area, as you can see. And even these supply depots, the way they're kind of clumped up, sometimes Protoss will go ahead and take the shot on that supply depot to go ahead and clear out 3 supply depots pretty rapidly, which can be devastating depending on the timing. So in the meantime, Bisu scooping up 2 Zalts and Reaver, making his way out, probes out in the field to, it looks like, established a third at the mineral only. Nearby at the, or never mind, he's going to go for, go ahead and grab that at the lower right hand corner. Just going to drop that pylon for scouting. And you can, the shuttle's going to have, doesn't have speed yet, will eventually have speed, but you can see how much territory there is. And Bisu able to just kind of walk in, is going to get some free shots on some SCVs here. Working on the turret. Gets the turret, gets an SCV with the splash damage. Some the vultures cleaning up the, able to clean up the zealot at the very least, but second zealot still in the complement, and we've got some additional, looks like that's going to be a dud. Every once in a while, it's weird. I think Flash, when he was playing Protoss, I want to comment this, I feel like he figured out a way to get those to explode, because they're, usually those are duds. I'm gonna get another turret down. Yeah, delaying things a little bit, delaying some mining time, at least able to kind of carve out 75 minerals here and there. Third base, by the way, about halfway complete for Bisu. So this is kind of looking like a normal ZVT, except Bisu getting, because of the map, I think, more than anything, getting some really good purchase. Oh, able to get the siege tank down as well. Has taken additional damage on the Reaver. Another siege tank and vultures finally making their way out to deal with this. But the SCV, I think this is about 4 or 5 SCVs that have been wiped out, plus a turret and a siege tank. So it's been a pretty valuable Reaver here initially. And he still can go, and it's still got full shield, so he can go back to home base, scoop some more stuff up, and continue that assault if he wants to. But I think he's put himself in a strong enough economic position off the 3 bases where he's going to feel a little bit more comfortable going up against any sort of +1 weapon, anything along those lines. We do have +1 weapons queued up, by the way. So now Forgg has to, I have to think he's going to, so he got the speed upgrade. He still hasn't put vultures out on the map. Got some Goliaths to deal with, and I'm actually a little bit shocked he didn't go with some earlier. Look at this. Six factory flood in the midst of this. I was wondering if he was going to go for some more Goliaths to try to cover this territory across here. Shuttle making its way back in, this time with 2 Reavers. Only a single Goliath to try to deal with it, and they're actually running into their own units, having some trouble. Machine shop getting attacked a little bit. A few vultures making their way out onto the map. Now here's the problem. Bisu moved up, he saw the 4 factories, he did not see, or saw the 2 factories, he did not see the additional 4 factories. So from his perspective, he might have been fooled right here with the lack of information. And that might be, again, why Forgg staged those so far to the north, is he might be thinking, okay, this is 2 factory upgrade turn, he's thinking about a third, something along those lines, and he's going to start pouring vultures out on the map. However, seeing only the 4 vultures right this second, and you can see, I think he's biting on this, he's already going for that 4th. And usually you'd stick to a 3rd and try to power, he does have a lot of gateways behind this, but you just power units off 3, I think, rather than going up to 4, oftentimes when you're expecting with the 6 factory in tow. So we'll see if Bisu's got the troop count down the line to deal with this. Right now, he's got an okay troop count, but not fantastic. And Forgg, I think he's going to pause at the 51 workers as well. You can see he doesn't have any additional SCV queued up off the 6 factories. And so I think he's going to go for that kill shot. Vultures still making their way around the map, trying to make it look like, yep, I'm just trying to move vultures and get my value that way. Ooh, lost 2 for free right there. But secondary problem for Forgg is with these gateways and the early economic damage that occurred, Bisu, even with this 4th Nexus against the 6th factory, he's still able to keep the supply very, very high in the midst of this, simply because, yeah, you just lost a lot of SCVs in time earlier. So right here from Bisu, he might be thinking, okay, this is just movement to go ahead and grab a 3rd base. But this here, this is definitely like 6 factories and we're going to go. And Bisu conceding that position has 2 Reavers nearby. And now that Bisu's a little bit out of view and thinking about like, you can see he's just sitting there thinking about crawling down to go for it. And Forgg's off. He's just now getting spotted that observer as all of the units are coming across. So now Bisu's got to scramble. He's got the 40 supply to make it happen. He's got a lot of shuttles in the midst of this as well. But Forgg definitely got the initial jump. Tanks finally sieging up. Now we'll see the execution here. A lot of Dragoons, and yeah, I just don't think there's enough siege tanks, and the tanks aren't sieged. Scarab hits and all sorts of zealots on top of this. Yeah, this looks like it's going to be a failed push, and Bisu's just going to be able to crush this attack. So Forgg now getting walked all the way back. And I think that's going to be GG, because Bisu on the 4 bases is going to be able to sit outside what would have been Forgg's 3rd. He could probably even start elevating troops into Forgg's main if he wants to. He's still, it would take a while with the shuttle count. Did he go double robo? I kind of want to check. No, just single robo. In the midst of this, could have gone double robo. Lost Reaver, still trying to get a lot of damage on the shuttle. The shuttle going to go ahead and return to home base. 5 siege tanks, a lot of siege tanks moving up, and Bisu kind of just donating troops actually here at the front. Can afford to do so. It doesn't really need to trade efficiently, and he's gone for yet another Nexus top right. Ooh, and we got some Dark Templar in the midst of this. So shuttle bombs, DT, finally a ComSat. Cleaning up pretty rapidly, gonna get the observer as well. Forcing in unsiege, and the Dragoon's gonna trying to get bonus out of it. Sneaking across, but Bisu's happy to just like, okay, yeah, just go ahead and spend all this time ComSatting, dealing with all this. And in the meantime, I'm just gonna grab yet another base on top of all of the bases I've already got. He could carrier switch if he wants to. He does not need to. Double Forge, by the way. In the midst of this, we do have +1 weapons. It looks like Forgg was able to sneak a command center here at the 9 o'clock. This is at a somewhat... We'll see if Bisu just lets it stand. He could easily just move a shuttle across that location, probably halt it. Forgg might want to go for a double expand. He's got some SCVs alongside this attack force making its way across the 6 o'clock. Looks like he's going to siege on that lip. A bunch of shuttles making their way in to drop all over this. That might have been intended. Ooh, and some Psy Storm as well. Oh man, the siege tank's trying to group walk out of that and still walking into more Psy Storm. So the Goliath, or sorry, the Dragoon's going to be plenty to clear this out. All the shuttles survive. So can go for another drop on top of this. And Forgg still down 50 supply. This is now, yeah, just 4 shuttle bombs, and the Zealot's going to return with that single Goliath at 4 health. That is not going to cut it. 5 shuttles in space of this. At least the observer going to get pushed back to make it not look as bad as it is. Forgg trying to get that starport up. Is he still in +1 weapons? Never mind. +1 weapons, +1 armor, and being delayed a bit as far as the additional upgrades. The shuttles being mirrored a little bit by the vultures on the ground. Now they're making their way up to that 9 o'clock. Saying like, yeah, I was having fun. Honestly, it feels like Bisu's kind of toying with his food right here. Siege tanks on the low ground. Reaver scooping right back up. Zealots going in the midst of that SCV line. These siege tanks going to get wiped out. And the Reaver can just turn right back around. We had 2 Zealots that were just microing their way. Yeah, and just getting... How is that a dud? Oh, never mind. It wasn't dud. Finally getting, yeah, some additional... And there's GG from Forgg. Bisu just picking them apart, making it look easy. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for listening.